Alright, welcome back. So in between episodes, I went ahead and sold off a whole bunch of stuff and bought the Temerian armor. Can't wear it yet. It won't, can't wear it until level 4. And we are only level 3, 3.5. I was able to make the, uh, Griffin decoction as well. And that is, now, they're ready to drink. And we are ready to head to Vizmir and maybe find Yennefer.
Yennefer's in Vizima. Got a few friends there, so... Something wrong?
Look around. Trouble brewing.
Time we were on our way.
Mm-hmm. I'll buy some provisions for the journey. Then we'll go. Geralt, we should stay out of it. Just this once.
What happened to the lilies?
Took him down.
Took them down to hang a golden sun there now.
I cannot show Temerian colours. They'll come and burn the tavern down.
Maybe it's true what they say. You fond of the Imperials? You Nilfgaard's whore?
I'll let that pass. I know grief eats at your heart.
You know shit. They hanged my sister, dragged her out the cloister like a dog. Said Nilfgaard's no place for superstition, that they don't fear the wrath of the gods. And you, do you fear it? If not for Annie, your child would have choked on its navel string. You owe your son to my sister attending to the birth, and you don't fear the gods' wrath. You don't fear it, you cunt!
Oh!
Leave me be!
Okay. Well, things are kicking off.
Recognize this medallion? You know what it means. Back off.
You alright?
They say witches steal young'uns. That true? What the Emperor promised you freaks? Your own land? Like he did the elves once?
Get out, all of you.
We ain't going nowhere. And neither are you.
They won't back down now.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's not good. Okay.
It's alright. It's over.
Leave me be! Get away!
See his face! God save us!
Be gone, and don't ever come back.
Yeah, making friends wherever we go.
So much for not getting involved. Come on, let's go.
Oh, okay.
That brawl, we didn't start it.
Excuses, excuses. You've not changed a bit.
Yen? How?
I received a report about a witcher who'd appeared in White Orchard. I knew it was you, looking for me. I might have waited until you found me, but... well, you know me. Patience has never been my strong suit. It's Good to see you, Geralt. I'd even embrace you. Were you not covered in blood?
Sorry.
What blood?
Wasn't expecting to see you.
He's covered in
To be
blood.
honest, this isn't at all how I imagined we'd meet.
How did you imagine it?
You didn't imagine you'd have a Nilfgaardian escort. Don't get me wrong, Yennefer. I'm glad to see you. But I do think you owe us an explanation.
And I shall provide it. In Vizima. Ready your horses.
Spent the last 6 months in the saddle. Haven't seen you for 2 years. Can't we take a moment to...
Sadly, we cannot. Someone awaits you, Geralt. Someone who doesn't like to be kept waiting. Emperor Emir var Emrys. Or, to those on more intimate terms with him, the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes.
Doubt I number among that group. Far as I remember, last time we saw each other, he wanted to kill me.
Well, now he wishes to make you an offer.
The kind one can't refuse.
I didn't, though I could have.
Fine. Guess I'm willing to hear him out.
The Emperor of Nilfgaard, Lord of Metina, Ebbing, and Gamera, Sovereign of Nazaire and Vicovaro will feel honored, I'm sure.
What about you?
I'm going in the opposite direction. I somehow doubt the Emperor's invitation mentioned me. Besides, I've got things to do at Kaer Morhen, remember?
Yeah, I remember. Thanks for your help, Vesemir. See you soon.
How's your horse? Swift?
Can't complain. Why do you ask?
I'd like to be back behind some thick city walls as soon as possible.
Level 4, there we go.
You know, I had a dream about you recently.
Knowing you, it was probably filthy.
Just the beginning. But then...
But then... We shall talk of this tomorrow, all right? After the audience.
Okay. So the Wild Hunt is after
This
us?
bard's tale begins near White Orchard, with my dear friend Geralt of Rivia seeking his lover of yore, the sorceress Yennefer. She'd eluded him for years, but now seemed just a few steps ahead. After many trials and tribulations, Geralt finally learned that Yen was in nearby Vizima.
It's a weird thing. Oh. Splashing all over.
It must suffice.
Thinkemere cares if I'm clean.
The gentleman will refer to His Imperial Majesty by his full title or not at all.
Yeah.
The gentleman will be seated on the bergère.
The what now?
In that chair. Cletwin, please shave the gentleman's sideburns to half an inch.
What's wrong with my beard? Always thought it added to my dignity.
It does. Yet it also detracts from your elegance. In Nilfgaard, we consider beards hard on the eyes. Especially beards infested with lice.
Been on the road a while. Fine, do your thing.
Tilt your head back, please, and sit still.
Okay, we're gonna get yourself a nice,
And prepare
nice shave.
to answer some questions.
General, I am not certain this is the appropriate time.
I can't think of a better time. Men turn honest when they feel a blade at their throat. Morvran Voris, commander of the Alba Division. Before they take you in to see the Emperor, Witcher, there's some information I need you to verify. It's a formality, but one that must be seen to.
Sure. Paperwork's gotta be in order.
So, Geralt of Rivia. Place of birth unknown, parents unknown, age unknown. All insignificant details. Let us proceed to more recent events. The siege of La Valette Castle. The fate of the defending commander, one Arian.
So I think these are things that could have happened in the previous games. Game or games, I don't know.
We fought on opposing sides, true. Then we landed in the same dungeon. Arian escaped, set fire to the castle on his way out.
So that is how the blade started. Our reports suggested the dragon was responsible. Moving on. You then found shelter in charming Flotsam, and from there made your way to Vergen. My question is how?
Yeah, Vernon Roche.
I got out of Flotsam with Vernon Roche, commander of the Blue Stripes, and...
A murderer of non-humans. We know this gentleman well, Witcher. You forge interesting alliances.
Something tells me my most interesting is yet to come. Go on, next question, before my beard grows back in.
We shall shave you again if it does. Very well. The infamous summit at Loch Muin. You were there. And once again meddled in the affairs of the mighty.
The mighty had imprisoned Triss Marigold. Ought to know I care about her, and I tend to rescue those I care about.
And so you did, handing Radovid control of the Conclave and Council of Mages in the process.
Nilfgaard recently started a war, unprovoked. So do us both a favor and stop moralizing.
The gentleman must sit still. I'm almost done.
I'm afraid I might find that difficult. Because, from what I know, shortly afterwards you watched a defective megascope blow your friend Sheila de Tanserville to bits.
Let's say she... I don't know what a megascope is.
I watched her get in the megascope, but ultimately freed her from the trap your man Letho of Gullet had set. Write that down. I want to be sure the paperwork's in order now.
Well, national interest calls on one to forge difficult alliances at times. Alliances with witches included.
That an ongoing alliance? What's Letho up to?
I had hoped you would answer that question.
Ah, so Letho's hiding from you. Must have a good reason. Was there a shift in national interest that might have caused that? I don't know where he is. Wouldn't tell you if I did anyway. Blade or no blade to my throat.
I believe that is all. Your signature, please, affirming you stated the whole truth and nothing but the truth on pain of imprisonment or death, etc., etc. Here and here.
With these formalities seen to, I would ask the General to leave the room. We shall be choosing the gentleman's attire. An important matter, but one that does not require the General's assistance.
Shame. I might have given you some advice. So long, Geralt. Good luck with your audience.
So I don't know if those are good choices I made, but
Feels more like I'm being readied for a wedding.
Were that so, I would have prepared the gentleman a frock, a tailcoat, or possibly a dinner jacket. In point of fact, the gentleman will choose from these garments.
Black, black, or black?
We
Yeah,
do
I
not
like
like
black.
garish colors in Nilfgaard. The gentleman will tell me once he has chosen an outfit.
A Vedi, directly out of Nordling.
okay, well. Gnomish prankings.
A shame I have no time.
Opposition in Nilfgaard. So when we get a chance, we'll read all these all at once. Seems like this is a veritable library.
A Vedi mean, directly out of Nordling tales. Inconceivable. A shame I have no time.
Oh, a sword for witches. Okay, let's take a look at these. Okay. Pleated. I think I like the embroidered. I'm going to take them all. I did like the oh, looks like I didn't need all those pants. They aren't laced up. Looks like they're the same, just different different repair statuses. So I do like the badge. So the shoe's not tied. Bugs me. It's like Run DMC and their Adidas. Okay. Okay. We're gonna go with this one because it's less tutu-like.
And they say clothes do not make the man. Does the outfit satisfy the gentleman?
A studded doublet and a sword on my back. That's what would satisfy me. But tough, when in Nilfgaard.
Yes.
It's a saying. So what now? Powder my nose?
No need. The gentleman's complexion is light enough.
He looks weird without a beard.
To stand before the ruler of the North and South, I must confirm that he knows how to bow.
Confirm away.
Please watch. Leg extended, hand flat, head down, chin to chest. The gentleman will rehearse.
So leg forward, hand on chest. So he sent his left hand out, so his right hand had to be on his chest, so left leg had to be forward.
Lacking
wow.
fluidity and grace. But we've learned to expect less of Nordlings.
That was horrible.
Come with me. The gentleman will address the Emperor only when asked to, and using the appropriate title.
Your arch magnificency.
I see the gentleman is in the mood for jests. I fear the Emperor might not share his disposition. Your Majesty will suffice. Spoken loudly, clearly, and with respect.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
Imgrimi et art kerzer. Daifen aden in karn eb marvut. Emir var emreis.
Bow.
Nah. He ain't the boss of me.
Your Imperial Majesty.
Arer ep do orde.
Evelian namen, vatgen favor. So many months at Foltest Court. Yet you still haven't mastered the basics of etiquette.
Know what they say? Can't teach an old wolf new tricks.
This guy does not like us.
Take it you didn't summon me to reminisce about the good old days, so...
Silence. My daughter Cirilla, she's returned. And she's in danger. The Wild Hunt pursues her. You will find her and bring her to me.
Are you sure? Ciri left. Went far, far away.
Do you believe I drag you here in the middle of a war to discuss a rumor?
I think anyone can be wrong, even an emperor.
I had forgotten how insolent you can be. I haven't the time to convince you, nor the desire, in fact. Yennefer will do that after the audience.
How many men in your army? 20,000? 30? So why me?
You know why. Because she trusts you.
She trusts me, yes. So tell me why you're looking for her. Doubt it's about making up for all those lost years.
For reasons of state, as always. Enough of this banter. You will agree regardless. If for no other reason than because I shall pay you. More than you customarily receive for a contract. Considerably more.
Yeah.
I need information, not motivation. Ciri leaves few tracks. She'll be hard to find.
My corps of spies will help you. Count on them, and my army, should the need arise. Yennefer will tell you the rest. This audience is finished. Mererid!
Mererid.
Take him to the sorceress.
Did the gentleman not understand? Did I not emphasize adequately that one must bow to the Emperor?
Relax. Nothing happened.
To the gentleman. But I shall be punished.
How?
Please keep close and bother no one. We've had enough breaches of it. Get for one day.
The gentleman will have time for a stroll later. Please stay with me.
Ooh, the Wild Hunt. Yeah, this guy's really gonna hate me by the time this is over. Yeah, fine. We'll go talk to...
Yes,
And it's
Ken,
past noon.
Calm yourself.
What? Do you know who you're talking to, soldier? I'm Herivard II, Prince of Elandar.
The
Not only
scene
am I
is
made to
for
wait here like some supplicant.
Aneen.
Mhm.
Sliten echt enigt is toen is saur aneen.
Es ist die Efsa. Finster neem
Dus wat is maar streken het
Geen Jos.
Diese Veratra
If een Kersche is Deithwin Adden in Khan at Morvood.
Okay.
Es kleiti. Kin ved vreine dat en selfit den dagen. Es se plenten et not makke. En selfit den sikke. Kasper ken kubelede. Remember, in herod kassivan.
Once the gentleman is done, he should see me to retrieve his possessions.
Glen es klasse. Havandra galo es onaklas.
Sharpen yet. Yes? Then transcribe. The true authority in Novigrad is not the city council or the merchants' guild, but the church of the eternal fire and the criminal underworld. At times it is difficult to tell the one from the other. They both display a similar ruthlessness and cynicism that...
Please wait, Your Excellency. I'm falling behind.
You know what? I'll write the report myself. You'll need only prepare a clean draft. In triplicate.
Didn't mean to stop his writing. His note taking. we got a lot of books to read. But some of them seem really interesting. The Witcher Sword seems really cool. The Wild Hunt could be interesting.
Vedimin, directly out of Nordling Tales. Inconceivable.
Master Var Atri. Oh, he won't speak to me. Okay. Let's talk to Yennefer. Apparently they don't want me
Geralt, that tunic.
looking
You
around.
look positively smashing.
Dying to take it off.
I'd consider that a proposition under different circumstances. One I might even take you up on. But we've matters to attend to. Now do you understand why I'm at Emir's court?
And seems we're in the same boat now. Ciri, she's really back? No chance he's mistaken?
Look, that's more or less what she looks like now. Or so our agents claim. Our little witch has grown into a young lady.
How about that? She's grown up?
It's been years since you trained together at Kaer Morhen. A great deal has changed.
You haven't. Not a bit.
I missed those awkward compliments of yours. But let's focus on Ciri, all right?
Right. Emir said the Wild Hunt's after her. I'd find that hard to believe before what happened yesterday. How did they track us down?
Because of me. You see, I've spent months searching for Ciri, using locating spells, haruspicy, geomancy, anything, really.
Haruspicy?
I knew the Wild Hunt might sense it, perhaps even find me, but I thought I'd tricked them.
Well, guess you were wrong.
I've sensed them on my trail, hunting me, for some time. If not for you and Emir's soldiers, they'd have gotten what they were after. I can't risk another encounter like that. It's time to put away the magic, turn to more traditional methods. To the best tracker I know. You must find her, Geralt, before the Wild Hunt does.
The Wild Hunt? What could it want from Ciri?
I've no clue, Geralt. Might have written them to ask, but I don't have their address. I know as much as you do. It must be about her blood. Her gift. As for what the Hunt wishes to do with that gift, I'd prefer not to think about it, really.
So where's Ciri been seen, exactly?
In two places. Velen and Novigrad. The trail in Velen is most promising. You should make that your first stop. Ask for a merchant named Hendrik at the inn at the crossroads. One of the Emperor's agents. He should get in touch with you.
That's it? No passwords? Secret handshakes?
None. Sorry to spoil your fun. Your boyhood fantasies about the crafts of the trade. All we have in Novigrad are unconfirmed reports, rumors. But there you will have the help of our mutual acquaintance. Triss Merigold. Apparently she's got a cozy flat on the main square.
Sure she'll be delighted to see me. What about you? What will you do?
I shall sail for Skellige. There was a magic explosion there recently, blew half a forest down. I believe this had something to do with Ciri. I'll be in Caer Trolde. Join me there once you've learned something.
One thing before we go. Why didn't you contact me? Didn't need me? Didn't even want to see me?
I didn't want to spoil things. I'd heard you and Triss made a great couple.
Yen, I'd lost my memory.
Really? That's your excuse? Let's drop it, all right? It's not what you think, or it helped me understand how much I love you. I don't wish to hear it. Any of it.
Guess this means we need to split up again. Not my preference, but I understand. Clock's ticking.
It is indeed. So why don't I teleport you to Velen, get you there at once?
Not gonna happen. I'll go on horseback, as soon as I can get changed.
Have it your way? Oh, and you really look quite dashing in black velvet.
Think so? Maybe I can have some of my armor lined with it. Good luck, Yen.
Same to you. And if you wish to learn what's happened in the world while you and Vesemir roamed the wilderness, talk to Ambassador Varatra. That's him over there. And Geralt, I know it's wartime, but try not to be a hero, all right? Just check those leads and come back to me, in one piece.
Okay.
I shall be waiting.
And she's gone.
Scars healed nicely.
Scars. Yeah, bread knife, that's what it is. I got multiple copies of all this stuff. So they want to make sure that we get a... She Who Knows. Okay, that's a new one. Boots, timber string, split bolt, reliever's decoction. Okay, lots of pictures. Map. Okay, let's see what we've got here. First of all, oh, we can't go to our inventory. Well, so we can't even read those books. Well, we should have hit the buttons when we picked them up.
What do you mean? Directly out of Nordling?
Ambassador Varatra, Yennefer suggested I ask you about current events, the war and so on.
Of course. The Emperor's servants should keep no secrets from each other. If you will, let us approach the map.
How's the war going? I mean, apart from the fact that Nilfgaard's triumph is imminent.
I assume this to be a private conversation. We've no witnesses, so let's dispense with the propaganda, even that shrouded in irony. Our offensive was going splendidly until winter came. Edirn was in such disarray that we encountered no resistance. We had reached the Pontar before the first snows. Only a weakened Kedwin remained, and Radovid's Redania, which had ignored the rest of the North's pleas for help. We thought they'd sue for peace, perhaps even submit to vassalization. We waited for spring, certain of victory.
Radovid? Submit?
Yes, a vain hope, I agree. Radovid sent no peace envoys, nor did he advance on our positions. Instead, he trudged over the snow-bound Kestrel Mountains and attacked Kedwin, his ally. This attack took the Kedweni by surprise. They were still mourning the loss of their king. Rudderless and dejected, they laid down their arms after a few lost skirmishes. and joined Radovid. And so by spring, instead of 2 weak enemies, we had only one powerful one.
That admiration I hear in your voice?
Radovid is our foe, but I cannot deny he is clever. He played us for fools, particularly dense ones at that. Returning to the war, this spring there was a massive battle in the marshes of Velen. Massive, yet indecisive. Both sides suffered enormous losses, unprecedented even. Radovid has retreated across the Pontar. He's safe for now, until reinforcements arrive from the south. Then Emperor Emir var Emrys will deal with him once and for all.
Couldn't you just go home? Save everyone a lot of marching, not to mention a few human lives.
I'm afraid the stakes are too high to fold now. We can only go all in.
Okay. So we're heading to Velen now, so let's hear what it's like.
How do things look in Velen?
As bad as ever, perhaps worse. This land never flowed with milk and honey, and now it flows with blood. Armies have swept through it several times, trampling fields, looting granaries, burning villages. Famine grips the populace.
So how's ruling that earthly paradise going for you?
Not well, to be honest. Our forces are spread thin as it is, and Velen is chiefly swampy forests that are difficult to control. We've had several patrols never return to their camps. Thus, we've temporarily delegated authority in this region to a certain Nordling, a former low-ranking officer in the Temerian army, one Philip Strenger, better known by his nom de guerre, the Bloody Baron. I advise you well. Avoid him.
Okay. After that, we're supposed to go to Novigrad, where we'll meet up with
Any news
Triss.
from Novigrad? Is the free city still free?
Yes, although everyone knows this won't last. Radovid is in Oxenfurt, and the Emperor is here in Vizima, at Novigrad's doorstep, both. And both require coin and ships. Novigrad can provide these. Which is why the mood in the city is rather, well, on edge.
Meaning?
How do men deal with fear? They seek reassurance and scapegoats. The Church of the Eternal Fire understands this perfectly, and so it promises to improve the lives of its flock by pointing out the guilty. Who started the war? Who profits from it? Why, it's obvious. Mages, elves, dwarves, in a word, any and all deviants. I've been stationed in Novigrad for 13 years. First as a consul, then as ambassador. I've seen a great deal. Cruelty, cynicism, greed. But what is happening there now concerns me greatly.
And Yen is heading to Skellige first, and that's where we're going to meet
What's
her
new in Skellige?
afterwards.
Nothing. The islanders pride themselves on that, don't they? Doing everything according to tradition, as their forefathers did. And like their forefathers, they quarrel with each other, pillage, occasionally attack our transports. This is cumbersome, but nothing more. Skellige has always been a footnote to history, and so it shall remain.
Sound awfully confident. What if King Bran manages to unite the Jarls? Lead all the clans against your fleet?
King Bran is a feeble old man. From what I know, he barely remembers the names of his own vassals. Uniting all might prove difficult.
Okay, that gives us kind of the lay of the land.
Think nothing of it. May the great sun light your path.
Still no... Still no inventory.
How might I serve the gentleman?
By returning my things.
Give me back my stuff.
Citrus and cloves. The fragrance will keep the gentleman's robes fresh somewhat longer.
Thanks, bunches.
The Emperor is not known for his patience. He wants his daughter back safe and sound, as soon as possible.
Yeah, mentioned something of the sort. So long.
Okay. Where's leather jacket? Temerian armor. Temerian boots. Temerian gauntlets. Temerian trousers. So, not a bad looking armor set. Let's go ahead and equip our crossbow. Viper silver sword. Viper steel sword. Bowen's long sword. Okay, we got lots of food. Okay, lots of stuff to read. Okay. Novigrad. So we still haven't gotten Novigrad. Letter to Yennefer. Yennefer, my dear friend. Thank you for your letter. Forgive me for not answering your earlier attempt to reach me via Megascope. I'm trying to limit my magic communication to the absolute minimum. One never knows who's listening. Don't you agree? I'm delighted you have found a position at our gracious Emperor's court, and wish you the best of luck in the search for his daughter. It is good to know that Emir's intentions for her have become more, how shall I put it, mundane. Perhaps in these circumstances, an agreement regarding the lodge will prove possible after all. In response to your first question, I can state beyond all doubt that Ciri has not appeared anywhere south of the Yaruga. Believe me, I could recognize her magic signature in my sleep. I have not had any contact with Triss for a long time. I only know that things in Novigrad have taken an ill turn. She mentioned something earlier about fleeing to Corvir, but I am afraid that in the current political climate that amounts to an impossible daydream. I hope I will soon be able to join you in Vizima. First, however, I must take care of an unfortunate yet urgent matters in Beauclair. With my fondest regards, Fringilla Vigo. P.S. Thank you for the news about Geralt. He always seems to land on his feet, doesn't he? What shall become of Temeria? Temeria, a land where milk and honey once flowed. And what did she wrong the gods that they should treat her so cruelly? The Pearl of the North to some, she proved a galloping range for the Nilfgaardian cavalry to others. As a country, it had survived two previous wars against the Empire. It was here that the war's bloodiest battles were fought. It was in Temeria where the most bestial deeds were wrought. It was Temerian civilians who bore the full brunt of these war's horrors. And bear them we did, bravely and steadfastly, until the demise of our great protector, King Foltest. Then Providence turned its fickle face from Temeria. Murdered most treacherously, Foltest failed to leave Temeria a worthy successor. And so all manner of curse soon fell upon her, tearing apart like so much carrion. She had no more allies then. None remembered that we had once been the armor protecting the north from the designs of the mad dancer, he who had the gravestones of his foes pounded into a ballroom floor. A free and independent Temeria is no more. A dark-faced sun looms over her every rampart. Yet we Temerians live on, and always will, as long as folk believe the usurper who took our beloved capital, Vizima, to treat as his property will forever peer over his shoulder in fear. For in the shadows lurks not one dagger, but the power of a nation of daggers waiting to deal justice's blow. So I'm not really sure of the whole geography of everything. Like, where's Rivia? Obviously, we're from the north compared to the south, which is where Nilfgaard is. While Nilfgaard's emperor wields absolute power, harshly crushing the slightest sign of disobedience, opposing forces continue to exist within the empire. By this, I do not mean the disgruntled leaders of conquered provinces, but the magnates within the city of 1,000 towers who are unhappy with the current leadership. This conflict between the emperor and the noble houses of Nilfgaard, of Nilfgaard, the capital, dates back many years. All princes of the blood and magnates expect their ruler to wed one of their daughters and to sire an heir with one of their own. The emperor, however, had other plans. This proved a slap in the face for all of the great families from which he refused to take a bride. Nilfgaardians' opposition patiently waits for the emperor to slip up, for some event to occur which will weaken his authority, be it an economic crisis or defeat in battle. A secret conspiracy lies ready to seize such a moment to incite the disaffected, assassinate the emperor, and carry out a coup d'etat culminating in one of their own number ascending to the throne. For obvious reasons, only a limited few know of this conspiracy, but any shrewd observer of Nilfgaardian politics can read the signs of its working. So long as men are men and the world is as it is, certain dynamics will forever remain the same. And the discontented will always form subversive societies with their secret signs and hidden agendas. So she who knows. Opposition Nilfgaard, okay. Folks say they were four at first. The mother, she who knows, the lady of the wood, came here from a faraway land, and since she suffered terribly from loneliness, she made 3 daughters out of dirt and water. So the mother, she who knows, and the lady of the wood are all the same person. A long time ago, the mother was the sole ruler of all of Velen. Her daughters brought her the people's request and served as her voice. Each spring, sacrifices of grain, animals, and men were made to the Lady of the Wood on her special night. Yet as the years passed, the Lady of the Wood slipped deeper and deeper into madness. Her madness eventually spread over the land. Men took to abandoning their homes and setting out into the bog, where they became food for beasts. Before long, Velen was drowning in blood. The daughters saw their land nearing destruction and took it upon themselves to save it. When the spring came once more, and with it the night of sacrifices, they killed their mother and buried her in the bog. Her blood watered the oak atop Ard Surbin, and from then on the tree grew wholesome and hearty fruit for the people. As for the lady's immortal soul, it refused to leave its beloved land, and so the sisters imprisoned it. To this day it lies trapped beneath the whispering hillock, where it thrashes about in powerless rage. She who knows. Portrayal of the elder races. What is a non-human? The answer is simple. As the very name suggests, it is someone who resembles and yet nevertheless is not a human. Though it walks on two legs, speaks a tongue similar to our own, and dresses in similar attire, it all the same has more in common with the base beast than noble man. Dwarves are like moles. They feel best underground and avoid direct sunlight. They like to live in filth, forever submerging themselves in mud and slime. They love everything that can be found within the earth, rocks, metal, minerals of all shape and color. It is also said that they, like their kindred moles, they feed most readily on worms, roaches, and other night crawlers. Halflings, for their part, are more reminiscent of gophers, fat, lazy, and loud in the typical rodent way. Loud in the typical rodent way? Their minds are filled only with thoughts of food and drink, which they steal from other, nobler beasts, and greedily squirrel away in their hovels. They are marked by a cruel craftiness. You could be dying of hunger, and they would not share a meal with you. You could be howling from poverty, and they could be swimming in gold, and yet they would still fleece you to the last crown. You could do nothing but good to them, and they would still stab a knife in your back. Elves, in turn, seem related to the birds of prey that dwell in far-off Cercania. They care most for the colored feathers. They would most readily spend all day staring at the reflections in the water, singing their own praises. They are so awash in self-love that they no longer feel any desire towards members of the opposite sex of their own species. Their appearance, unquestionably pleasant to the eyes, is highly misleading, for they are extraordinarily cruel, and any who judge them by looks alone, they first dupe and then kill in cold blood. The best proof of this? The so-called Scoia'tael, bandits that claim to fight for freedom, but in truth only long to kill humans. All of these vile so-called elder races are, to our great fortune, slowly dying out. Joy fills the heart of every right-thinking man at the thought that his great-grandchildren will never know them. That in their day, dwarves, halflings, elves will be mere fairy tale characters used to scare young, impressionable children. Oh, okay. Cirilla Fiona Ellen Rhiannon, born in 1251, heiress to the throne of Cintra, Princess of Bruges and Duchess of Sodden, heiress to Innis Ard-Skellig and Innis An-Skellig, and suzerain of Atri and Ab Yara, daughter of Pavetta, see Pavetta Fiona Ella, and Urshion of Ellenwald, see Emir Var Emrys. So is Emir Var Emrys actually Urshion? Granddaughter of the famous Lioness of Sinatra, Sintra, Queen Calathane, see Calathane Fiona Rhiannon. A shipwreck occurred during a journey from Sinatra to Skellige, which took the lives of Urshion and Pavetta. Cirilla's further upbringing was then entrusted to her grandmother. In 1260, afraid of the looming Nilfgaardian threat, Queen Calanthe sent Cirilla to the court of King Eärvil, see Eärvil of Verdun, where the heiress of Sintra was to marry the heir to the throne of Verdun, Prince Kistrin, see Kistrin of Verdun. Though allying with Verdun and gaining the aid of that realm's army was at the time Calathan's top priority, no marriage ever occurred, and Cirilla returned to her grandmother's court. In 1262, during the so-called Sintra massacre, Cirilla went missing. So she would have been 11 at that point in time. Okay, Pearls of the North. Okay. Gnomish prankings. Scrub the greasings from a dog's ear, soak it into cotton twine. Place in a new lamp of greenish hue, and set said lamp betwixt an eager crowd. For a sooth shall they swear that a dog's head they behold. and this shall be no sorcery, but good betidings. For the Prince of Elander's nuptials, a paltry gnome armed with a miniature cutlass behid himself in a pie. When the guests partook of the princely banquet, Anon jumped out the besabred gnome, giving a terrible fright to all at first, then causing much merriment once the jest was figured. A cynocephalus, or a dog head in our tongue, a beast that in the wastes of Zanzibar dwells, has the corpus of a man, but the head of a dog. The Prince of Elander did receive such specimens from those far-off lands. The cynocephalus let stream its urine with the tolling of every hour, both day and night, and this is why Zangbarians engrave its likings on the timepieces and compasses. Okay. Okay, Pearls of the North, Novigrad. No one can claim to have traveled the northern realms who has not been into Novigrad. If I were forced to list what during my many meanderings has made the greatest impressions on me, it would be precisely this great and yet at the same time free city. A metropolis worthy of the Empire. Its only flaw is that the civilization Nilfgaard carries within her has not yet enlightened it. That is why hordes of reactionary cultists of the Eternal Fire dwell in the midst of our excellent buildings and superb commercial infrastructures. One feels as though superstition is how the local hierarch and his local temple's guard cement their power over the city dwellers, and many they are able to control, for the city counts no less than 30,000 of inhabitants. So it's a big city. Obviously this is written by somebody who is lives in Novigrad but is sympathetic to the Nilfgaardians. While strolling through its fabulous port, surrounded by marvels of architecture, it is hard to imagine that centuries ago Novigrad was a mere minor elven townstead. When the city fell into the hands of the Nordlings, its problems grew exponentially, for it was well known that the people of the north can do a great many things, but peacefully and orderly cohabitation is not one of them. And so Novigrad first belonged to Redania, then fell under Temerian rule, until finally, after endless compromise and bargains, it last became a free city. But is the city truly free? I dare to doubt it. Redanian influence makes itself felt too strongly on every street corner, and the fact that the city is located within Radovid's territory speaks for itself. While wandering the city's streets, I came across 4 watermills, 8 banks, and nearly 19 pawn shops. There are also a great many houses of simple pleasure, such as taverns and brothels, and Novigrad's commitment to matters of faith is borne witness to by the fact that the city contains no less than, I kid you not, 19 temples to the Eternal Fire. What more can be said? I think Novigrad has all the makings of the capital of the world, and perhaps that will one day be, and that is what it will one day become. First, however, someone needs to bring order to within her walls. Okay, the Wild Hunt. From farmers and herdsmen, milkmaids to midwives, all the common folk of the continent whisper, sharing tales of a wrathful procession pounding across the sky. The Wild Hunt, they call it. Winds and gales, storm and blizzards arise when it is sighted. It all grows cold, though the sun shone bright moments before. Some remember only the cold from the shock of the encounter, and claim the riders come always in winter. But nay, this is not so. The hunt brings its own ice. Death and war gallop in its wake, or so the superstition goes. Yet evil enough is the hunt itself. It takes folks captive, youth, most often, in the prime of their wilding years, with 10 to 20 summers behind them. The hunt rushes in, and they disappear, only to return long years later with no memory of what passed in the time between. Okay, so they like to capture people and who knows what. A sword for witches. Who are the hunters, you ask? Folk like you and yours, I reply. The decent kind, haters of lies, doers of good. The kind who live according to the gods' laws, and nature's laws too. Those disgusted by the machinations of witches, magicers, and non-humans. All that separates us from common folk is that we've the courage to take up arms, to defend our lands from evil, to slice out the gangrene that eats us from within. We haven't a leader, we haven't forts or land, though God-fearing Radovid supports us with his gold at times. We've not sworn him nor any other ruler any oath. We serve only the eternal fire, and we listen only to our own conscience. Who can join us? Any who is right of soul and sound of body. You can find us in every larger city in the north. We will give you board, lodging, and weapon. We will explain how to spot the telltale signs of evil, birthmarks in strange and arcane shapes, smooth skin on a matron aged more than 30 springs, and a black cat kept in the yard, to name but a few. We will show you how to defend yourself from witchcraft, how to tame and snuff out magic elements with Damirtium. We will instruct you how to squeeze the sinner's darkest secrets out of them with a hot iron, and how to grant them cleansing death with the help of a sacred fire. So these sound like good, nice people. Okay. During my many travels, I've seen countless extraordinary places. The primeval wilds of Brokilon, with trees so high their tips disappeared in the clouds. Dwarven chambers carved into the guts of Makam mountains, with walls plated in pure gold. The ice palace of Pon Vanis, adorned with stained frost windows. Yet none of these make such an impression on me as did the rightly famed Zerkania. Yet while I was traversing the fiery mountains, I feared disappointment awaiting me on the other side. I had heard many a fantastic tale about Zerkania, about its trackless sands burnt white by the sun, its golden-scaled dragons weaving their nests amidst the dunes, its hunchbacked horses able to survive weeks without even a swallow of water. Yet none of it seemed to me at all plausible. I was sure all of these sensations were but the figment of some bard's overactive imagination. I know this will be as hard for you to believe, dear reader, as it once was for me, but all of this unbelievable tales are true. Not only that, during my many months of travel, I came across wonders of far surpassing those of any prior travelogues mentioned. I saw temples dedicated to the worship of dragons. I heard their voice, almost human, but reverberating with 1,000 echoes. I met warrior maids clad in leopard skins, tattooed from head to foot and giving no ground to witchers in mastery of the blade. I saw mages who channeled power from fire. I saw seemingly harmless flies whose solitary bite would make a man fall into a deep slumber, never to awaken save to die. In short, Zerkania is a land where the fantastic is normal and the impossible occurs daily. Okay, so Brokilon is where Ciri ended up in, I think it was episode 4 of the TV show. I'm just watching that now, so I haven't seen it all, so but that's where she ran into dryads. Zerkania was mentioned by Ciri when she was telling the difference between ghouls and alghouls, talking about striped tigers living in Zerkania. The Chronicles of Redania. Redank the Elf. Despite what one might conclude from his moniker, not one drop of elven blood flowed in King Verdank's veins. They called him the Elf because of his exceptional beauty and for the great admiration he felt for the Ain Cid. This fascination, seemingly harmless, would have horrible long-term consequences. King Verdank, spitting in the faces of all laws and customs, chose as his wife a half-elf, one of low status, known as Beatrix of Kovir. The fruit of this regrettable and short-lived Misalliance was Falca, who later fomented a bloody revolt against her own father. Though this uprising was ultimately extinguished and Falca herself burned at the stake, the young state was thereafter thrown into chaos for years to come. The Last Wish. Human life requires three things for its sustenance: food, drink, and gossip. It is thus no wonder that no matter where I travel, be it icebound Pavis or evergreen Toussaint, everyone asks me about the passions that bind Geralt and the sorceress Yennefer of Vengerberg. As a man both cautious and discreet, I refuse to betray their secrets, with one important exception. The history of their first encounter is so extraordinary, so romantic and moving, that it would be a veritable crime to hide its light beneath a bushel basket. Indeed, had I not witnessed these events in person, I would never believe there was room in our grim and dark world for such fantastic marvels. Who's writing this? It all began when Geralt and I were feeling a bit peckish and, unburdened by heavy coin pouches, decided to fish our supper out of a lake. No bites were to be had, but we did not leave empty-handed. My hook snagged quite a lovely little pot. Oblivious to my friend's warnings, I opened it, and in doing so, freed a powerful djinn. Without giving it much thought, I set about proclaiming my wishes. Before I could get to 3, however, the djinn, irritated, I see now in hindsight, at being issued demands so soon after waking, began to throttle me. Geralt was able to drive him off, but I was left in a sorry state. I acted, the Witcher told me later, as though under the influence of some curse. Clearly the help of an expert in the magic arena would be needed. It was our good fortune that Yennefer of Vengerberg happened to be staying in a nearby village. Geralt went to her to ask that she heal his best friend, who happened to be the brightest star in the north poetic firmament. So this is obviously Dandelion writing. Yennefer, however, was more interested in the djinn, which she wanted to trap into magic servitude, than in its victim, and it should be said, played the Witcher like a well-strung mandolin. Yet rather than grow angry at being used in such a calculating manner, he fell white head over muddy boots in love with her. What happened then? Well, I won't go into details. Suffice to say that Yennefer's plans hardly delighted the djinn, and without its cooperation she proved unable to tame it. The sorceress would surely have met a tragic end, and taken all of Rind along with her, had Geralt not rushed to her rescue. For once he did not need to draw either of his blades to send the djinn packing, but he had to pronounce the third and final wish. He could have asked for anything: wealth, fame, power. But instead, he asked the djinn to bind his fate to that of arrogant yet intriguing sorceress from Vengerberg. Julian Alfred Pancratz, Viscount of Lettenhove, born 1232. Award-winning poet, playwright, and troubadour. Frequent performer at courts of Nidir, Vesemir, Venzlav, and many other nobles and notables. Alumnus of Oxenfurt Academy. Okay. Okay, Hendrik is who we're supposed to meet up with. Voorhis. Okay, Triss Merigold. So Cirilla had an update. Cirilla, Fiona, Ellen, Rhiannon. That she's born in 1251, that she has ashen hair and a scar on her cheek. All true, and that's the Cirilla I know best, the one I first laid eyes on those many years ago, the one who seemed thoroughly, well, not extraordinary. Certainly not as extraordinary as she in fact is, okay. Ciri's biography continued to have one more secret. Her natural father was none other than the Emperor of Nilfgaard, Emir von Emmaus. His words confirmed the fear swirling in Geralt's mind. Ciri had returned and was in mortal danger, for the unrelenting Wild Hunt was on her trail. Yennefer made it clear why the Wild Hunt wanted Ciri. Eredin wanted the power latent in her elder blood. She also let Geralt know that Ciri had last been seen in war-ravaged Velen, as well as in Novigrad, the largest city in the world. Okay. New marker. Let's see. Do we have any quests? Nilfgaardian connection. Okay. Key required. Okay. No red is to the right.
See you.
So we haven't really started our Gwinting. We need to start buying up decks and oh, broken stained glass.
Ninta mea deitra.
Yeah, that's not how you fix stained glass. A hammer. Particularly standing 5 feet away from it. Ah, so they're probably planning on replacing the old culture's icons with the new cultures. That's why they're breaking up the symbol. Yeah, so they're breaking up the I guess the lilies.
Greetings.
And gonna replace it with the sun. So let's see what's Candy and a candle.
Rein wat kan, Bakelm.
Oh, it won't let you jump through there.
Yes, hen as Gwyn.
Okay, well, let me sit there.
Neen te meer detra.
Stop staring or I shall call the guards.
Yeah, she's not the guardian.
Waar en uit veen.
Okay, I was just kind of seeing if, he said you can explore later whether things would be unlocked. Okay. They are terrible guards.
Gwyn hart vi glädje. Esset en...
Okay, and here's where we got our bath and our shave and got our clothes. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like there's anything else we can do in this entire city.
Yes, hen as Gwyn.
Yeah.
So, so there were interesting people here, but it looks like they all left. Yeah, gotta get that bread knife.
Bakelm.
Okay. Ah, this is this is Novigrad. This is a town we're gonna go to, I guess. This is the where the Bloody Baron is. Don't know what this city is. Don't remember what this city is, I should say. Okay.
Geralt and Yennefer were reunited, but something even more important happened in Vizima. Geralt learned that Cirilla, his one-time ward, had returned from afar, and she was in danger. He was to find her, at the Emperor's command and Yennefer's behest.
Stunning an opponent with Axii increases your chance of dealing him an immediate finisher. Many choices give rise to consequences which only make themselves known long afterwards. Velen, northern Temeria. 5 days later. That is the slowest fast travel we've ever seen. 5 days. Wow. How do they hang them up on the really high one? Seems hard to do. Okay, Hearts of Stone. Thank you for purchasing the Hearts of Stone expansion. Your current tracked quest has changed to the first quest of Hearts of Stone. Yet we only recommend starting a character level is at least 30. Runewrite. While playing the Hearts of Stone expansion, you can encounter a Runewrite marked by the book with a rune icon on your map. This new craftsman, the only of his kind, comes from a far-off land and can use his arcane knowledge to considerably improve your equipment. Seek him out and see for yourself. Blood and Wine expansion. In this mode, all the quests of the main storyline are still available to you. To begin playing quests from the Blood and Wine, you must first complete a Poet Under Pressure quest. New quest, Evil's Soft First Touches.
That's it, Roach. Go, go.
I'm not really telling him to go very fast. That's... Can I shoot him down? Doesn't look like it. Oh. Okay, let's go ahead and head into town. This should introduce us to the new land. They like to hang people here. Okay, we have a board. Help us send him off. To whom has eyes to read. The other day our Falibor died. We have no means to bury him properly. Not a white shirt in the house, nor a cloth for a shroud, nor no planks for a coffin. If there's aught you can spare, help, please. If we don't send him off to the next world proper-like, he'll haunt us all in revenge. Watch what you say. The trees have ears. You'll buy your drinks at the inn at the crossroads with Novigrad crowns. We take no other coin. We don't do tabs either, nor exchanges, save for eat or drink. If anyone doesn't like that, they can go rut for acorns. For lack of better fare, I fed my young'uns pancakes made of ground acorn. The poor tykes lain on the straw for 3 days since, their bellies growing something awful, getting sick and crying without end. If you know how to help, come to my hut. I have naught to give in return but a warm word and a prayer of thanks. Yeah, acorns aren't really edible unless you like. You have to like boil them a bunch of times to get out all the stuff that's poisonous. 'Twill soon be forefathers' eve, tormented souls, souls who've known rest after death, hungry, tired, scared ghosts. They'll soon walk among us. We'll carve the jacks and send them into the next world with chant, prayer, and kind words. Prepare yourself, Pilar. Good people, take pity and hear my plea. My wife, Hannah, she's missing. A few days ago, she went into the woods and has yet returned. I'm near out of my wits with worry and will pay any price to the man who brings her back to me, or at least tells me where to look for her. Neelan, hunter from Blackburrow.
Bar your windows tight. Nail an iron stud in the door. Trying to grip the eye at night till he
Okay.
be sure to keep the demons away.
We've got another one.
Both forces attacked, one from either side. Cavalry swooped in from the wood. A wall of infantry marched from the swamp. Our boys wished to surrender, but the Black Ones would take no prisoner.
Ah. The crossroad is across the way.
Run, Roach! Stood him in a circle.
And kill the monster.
And cut down every last one like the butchers they were.
Giddy up.
Not so fast, Roach.
Okay. More hangings. Gonna hang right here.
Hey there.
John Verdun.
Unbind me before the next ones come.
When they come, I'll tend to them. Meanwhile, let's you and me chat. Like to know who I'm untying.
John Verdun. Served in the 10th Maribor Division.
Long way from your army.
The army don't exist no more. Black Ones smashed it to bits. I scarpered off into the woods just before that happened. Joined a group of refugees. Fucking bursting with patriotism they were. Soon as they learned I'd abandoned Temeria in her hour of need, they beat me down. Tied me up like a turkey, left me to the drowners.
Okay, well.
Fine, I'll help.
We'll untie him, but.
For a minute there, I was almost sure you'd leave me to die. I'd like to thank you somehow, but I've not a chip crown to my name.
Tough. I'll take the loss.
Thanks, Witcher. May you prosper on the path.
Okay.
Ouch.
Okay.
Come on.
I'll not give her up. Not on me life.
They hear her squealing. They'll kill us and take her all the same.
So I'll slaughter her myself. Hide her corpse neath the floorboards. Those bastards won't have her.
Forefather's Eve approaches. There'll soon be Forefather's Eve, twin souls soon. No. Okay, we read that. Pancakes, acorns. We need a man to guide me and my family across the Pontar. 5 of us in all, me, my wife, 3 young'uns, but their days calm. Not crying or yelling sword, but won't give us away to the soldiers. I'm not rich, but whatever I've got, I'll give. In fact, I'll take on debt and go into someone's service, anything, long as it gets me out of Velen. Please, someone hear my plea. Radost. Another link from helps in us on. Missing Mikkel. My true-born brother Mikkel is missing. Anyone who finds him, or at least finds out what fate has met him, will be generously rewarded, and I'll slip a good word to the Baron about you as well. Find me at the inn at the crossroads. Bruno. Missing Anna Stringer, wife of the Bloody Baron, presumed kidnapped. Hearty reward for whoever finds her or brings her in.
Looking for a man. Goes by Hendrik.
What do you want with him?
Want to talk to him.
What about?
Give me a bottle of something strong.
Well, we grow back a beard really quick.
You gotta go. I'll open the back way for you.
Got company. Who is it?
Innkeep. Vodka.
Who's this in?
Brave warrior, looks like. Got 2 swords, see?
Oi, grey boy. What's the point of having 2 swords?
Wonder if he keeps an extra prick in his trousers too.
You fucking deaf? Gonna say who you are? Or do I need to loosen your tongue with me knife?
How about I buy everybody around?
Why would you?
Got the coin for it. Simple as that.
I don't drink with strangers.
We share a round, won't be strangers anymore. Then we go our separate ways.
And which way might yours be?
On my way to Novigrad.
City of whores and whoremongers.
So I'm going there.
To your health. And mine.
Bottoms up.
If you want a rest, come with me. I've a bench you can use.
I step in the hut, and there's the bumpkin with what looks like his son. That's on the pretty side, I think to myself.
I see probably disguised his daughter.
Horsons always manage to hide their lasses.
Thought he'd outsmarted me, the arsewipe.
Mean he hadn't?
I ploughed the snot out of that little shit. Lad, that's whatever the fuck he was.
Must have surprised the old coot. Bet he wet himself.
Thanks for not starting a row with those swine.
I don't generally poke my nose in other people's business.
Looking to stay the night?
No. I'm looking for Hendrik.
Man lives in Heatherton.
Don't know where that is.
Other side of the hill. Looked that away this morning, saw a strange glow. Imperials on the raid, perhaps. But who knows?
Anything else you can tell me about Hendrik?
Odd fellow. Arrived from who knows where and for no apparent reason. Shacked up with a widow whose husband was stabbed for a scrap of bread.
Baron's men don't like strangers.
Aye, he stays out of their way. Always seems to know when they're coming. Always manages to disappear.
Thanks, Inkeep.
Whoa!
Strap on the loot. We're done here.
Okay. Forgot I was recording for a second. Almost stopped to text.
Let's go.
Slower.
Sick black ones being sent to Temeria.
Slow now. Giddy up.
Sick bodies. Get out of here.
Oh.
Not another step, or there'll be one corpse more.
What are you doing?
What one does in the country. Harvesting. Just switched from wheat fields to battlefields.
Corpses look fresh. Some of these men still alive a bit ago, right?
Aye, they were. Wounded but breathing. Healer could have helped them. But no healers around. Just us.
Yeah, just thieves and murderers.
Your ploughing's starting to annoy me, and I don't like being annoyed.
Rally to me, boys.
This guy out in his underwear. Okay, got him. Now I just have to deal with these guys.
Not good.
Not blocking in time. Missed the parry. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take a break and go get something to eat, and we will pick up next time. So, thanks for joining me. Bye.